Hello, and welcome to another episode of What Would Helen Say? In this episode, Hurt Me, Hurt You. My couple continues their meta emotions interview on anger. And they also pick one of three topics that they want to continue to explore from our previous session. Is it finances, his best friend, or the time that she made him feel sad? Tune into the episode and find out what happens. If you enjoy the work that I'm doing and would like to support me, or if you're interested in gaining premium access to notes and other resources that can help you in your therapeutic journey, please click on the link below for more information. Thank you. All right, so today we are going to start with the first half talking about the meta emotions regarding anger. So, since you went first last time, do you want to stay first again this time, or do you want her to go first?
Let me see.
Boy.
I'll go. I'll go first.
Okay. All right. So, this is going to be pretty much the same setup as we did with sadness. First, we're going to talk about this particular emotion when you were growing up, and then we'll move on to how it's showing up presently. Okay.
All right.
All right. So, what was your experience with anger growing up?
Growing up with anger. Let me see. Oh man, that's a hard question to me. um, I want to say my anger was, anything crazy. It was normal kid stuff. Like if you
Like,
can't if you can't go somewhere, you'll get mad, or if you can't do something, you'll get angry.
so like, how did you behave then? Like, what did that look like?
Oh, well. Well, my mother and my grandmother, they didn't really play that. So if I got angry, it'd just be I'd just go in my room and just close the door or watch TV or something. It wasn't ain't nothing ain't nothing too wild. Like I catch a catch a tantrum and start throwing stuff. Nah, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing like that.
Okay. So I'm just curious though. Something happens, you get angry. Like, how did your face change? He's like, ah, like, did you do anything that let somebody know that you felt angry?
um, I'll just like shut down and just be isolated. It wouldn't be. I won't have no angry face or none of that. Just shut down and just be distant, be around just on myself.
Okay. I feel like we're starting to see a pattern here. Like, emotions show up and then everything else just disappears.
There you go.
What was that?
She talking about some
Okay, all right. We'll keep exploring. So, what about other family members? Like, how did anger show up with them?
um normal family. Got family that fight, that argue like that. I wasn't too big on arguing because like arguing don't lead me nowhere. But it just pointless to me.
Okay. I mean, so then my other side is, how do you handle conflict then?
Um, it all depends on the level of conflict. If it's real conflict, like somebody, then like we got to fight. But if it's on some conflict with her,
Okay.
Um, if it's comfortable with her, just try to talk or whatever, or if it's not going nowhere, just shut down and just be distant because I don't like to argue.
So does that equal if you can't talk it through calmly, does that mean you just kind of resign and you say, okay, whatever, you do what you want?
Yeah,
Okay. My only concern about that is that sometimes doing so over time leads to resentment because you feel like you've been the one to consistently give in and give up and surrender. And then at some point in time, people start feeling like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to give up anymore. I don't want to give in anymore. I want my way.
yeah, yeah. You got a point.
Okay.
I
And
just try to avoid all the arguing and stuff. That's not really my character. I don't really try to get into all that.
I understand, you know, arguing in the sense that most people see it and define it, it isn't helpful because most of the time people have kind of dug their heels into their point of view and they're not really making any progress. It's just two people yelling at each other. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand that perspective, but there are times when you need to have an in-depth conversation about whatever the subject matter is so that you're not left feeling like you have to give up something that's important to you.
All right.
Okay. So, next, in your childhood, what made you feel angry?
Um, just like if I couldn't really have my way with something, like if I couldn't go somewhere, or if I couldn't get something, or let me see, or like I said last week, if it like my father come around and then he'll just leave and then come back, like I was confused and angry because I didn't really like understand what he was doing.
Okay. So, to some extent, things that you don't understand but you're still subjected to makes you feel angry.
Um, in a way, because it's like I was more like angry at that because it's like he thought he could just pop up and everything would be fine with it. Like I didn't really understand that. Then just leave for a while and come back and try to be my best friend. Like I'm like it was more confusion and mixed with anger.
No, that makes sense. I completely get it. He's kind of stepping into this dynamic, wanting a certain level of respect or even admiration, even though he's done nothing to earn it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you already kind of, shared what you would do when you're angry. You shut down, you'd isolate, watch TV. Anything else that you would do
Um. Let me see. As a kid or now.
as a kid?
Um. I would go play my game or what else I'll do? Just go outside and be around my friends or try to do something fun to change my mood.
So when as a kid, when you were angry, was there anyone that you could actually go to and talk to about feeling that way?
Yeah, yeah. I could go to either my mother, my grandmother, or my aunt, but it was more so. I just I just try to stay unto myself. But like if they see me angry, they'll come and try to talk to me. But it's like we gonna talk, but I'd rather be alone. Like I'd rather just handle it on my own self.
Okay. So when you did talk to someone, was there anything they said that you found was helpful?
At that point of time, like when I'm angry, I really don't wanna. I don't wanna. It's like I don't wanna hear nothing. So so they could be trying to talk to me and be helpful. Like ask me what's going on. Can they help me? Can they do something to make me feel better? But it like at that point I'm already mad. So like I just want to be to myself.
Okay. So how did they respond to that? Where, they want to say or do something to help you in that moment, but yet you kind of were pushing them away. How did they respond to that?
Um, they'll still talk to me, or they'll try to take me somewhere with them and buy me something and talk to me still, like a car ride or whatever. But it's like I don't be ready to talk until like my anger went down, until I'm feeling better.
Okay. So once you did calm down, did you talk to those people more? Did you say, all right, here's what was going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did it go then?
Um. It went. It went pretty good. They was able to like talk some shit to me, like what's going on. Like if it was instance of I couldn't go somewhere, they'll try to explain to me why they didn't want me to go there, or or at the moment why I couldn't have the certain thing I wanted, or on my father, they'd be like that's not your fault. It's nothing that you could do different about that. That just him. That just and don't feel bad or nothing, or angry because like the family got you still.
So then they would explain more of the situation to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was more like they didn't sugarcoat nothing with me, because it's like I'm my mother oldest son, so like it's like they all got a different kind of love for me. So like they'll be more up on front with me.
Okay. So how did your siblings respond to you being angry?
Um, I mean, my the two the two youngest ones, they really like young, so they didn't really like see that. But I got a brother that's under me. Um, how did he knew how it was. So like if he see me angry, he would try to like give me my space. He wouldn't try to be in my face, ask me what's wrong and nothing like that. Like he'll wait until I calm down and try to like talk to me, or whatever the case is. He'll wait.
Okay. So between your mom, your grandmother, and your aunt, when they were angry, was that always like a fight, an argument, or something like that?
No, 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 no. When I was saying that, that's more so like the older uncles in my family, or like older cousin that's around like my uncle's age. So like they're like argue or whatever. But it wasn't never. with like my mother, my grandma, my aunt, it was never like really no arguments or fights with them. They was more so like they had a tighter bond. And when they was when they would if they get angry or something, they do a good job of not showing me.
Mm. So there's really a strong culture in your family of not showing emotions.
Um Honestly, yeah, like I never growing up, I really never like saw them more so like mad or sad or something. They'll do their best to hide it because I never really like encountered it.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm being a little silly for a moment. So you
So,
never had that, that experience of, someone talking to their through their teeth. You better not. You never had that.
that'd be like like if you act up in school, they'd do that, but it's like that's normal stuff. It wasn't be like they wouldn't show me them being sad or nothing like that. I'm talking if it's like that, like school wise, if we in school acting up, they'll say that to us or but like normal like regular life, nah, they wouldn't they would try to they would try to hide that from us. Now that we older, we'll realize like only try to hide it from us.
Okay. So only if it's like a public situation, you kind of got this display where you knew they were angry, but they were also still in the moment doing their best to not show it to everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you ever see a different response from your mom, your aunt, or your grandmother to your brother being angry?
Um kind of yeah, kind of now that I'm older, I can really like look back and think like with him, he was like the problem child. So like it was more so they'll talk to him more, or they'll try to get him to get his act right or whatever, or they're just um they would be more more unconfrontational with him.
Okay. So, does that mean there was, spanking or hitting or more restrictions, things like that involved?
It was more restrictions because it was like they tried their best not to really like hit us. Like it was on more so talk and punishment and all of that.
Okay. Anything else stands out to you about your childhood in relation to the emotion of anger?
Mm, nothing else right now that I could think of other than what I had told you.
All right. Okay. So let's switch. So, B, what was your experience with anger like growing up?
Uh, Nobody hid that they were angry at all.
No one hit when they were angry?
No, they didn't like hide it or anything. Like it was really out in the open. Um, my when I say my mother's side is like real confrontational. So anything that they felt or anything like they would speak on it, including anger. Um, but with my experience, like for me getting angry, um, yeah, I would probably just stick to myself. That's not something that can be like shown as a kid.
So was that another incident of you're a kid, you don't have a reason to be angry, so
Yeah.
so what were some things that made you feel angry as a child?
Uh, oh, sorry. Um, Let me see. I guess like being treated differently. Um, and just like really just not being happy like in that space every single day. Like to like kind of already know how the day would be spent. Like living in a house is like there was nothing to really be happy about unless like it was something coming up or something that I had to do or something. It was just like it's kind of pointless.
So it felt kind of hopeless in a sense, like today
Yeah,
is going to be the same as yesterday, so why?
right, right.
Okay. So was isolating the only thing that you would do when you felt angry, or did like once you got by yourself, did you do something then to help express your anger?
Um, I tried like I forget who, but someone bought me like a diary um back then. I probably was in I want to say probably like first or second grade, something like that. Um, so yeah, I had a diary, and once I got angry, like I wrote in the diary for probably like a week straight. And then at the end of the week, I got a beating for writing in the diary because my mother opened it and read it. And it was one of those, like, I don't know if it's like, if you remember, like, it's like the older ones that comes with like with the little key and it's like a password, like some type of Barbie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those. So I was like, okay, I won't do that again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So no sense of privacy, no sense of
Mm-mm.
being allowed to feel anything.
Nope. Not at all. So it's kind of like you gotta have like a poker face, like at all times. And then if like other family members came around, or anyone would come over to visit, or we would go somewhere, it's like I kind of had to say, okay, well, let me just push like all of that to the back of my mind, and I gotta be happy. I gotta make it seem like everything is okay because she had a thing of like not making her look bad in public, kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, this is just basically what I got to do. And I just used to always tell myself that, like, just do what you got to do. Time is going to pass and then you'll be able to get out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I did run away a few times.
If I can ask, like, do you remember the circumstances that led up to you running away?
I would say it would just be like the daily unfairness, if that's even a word. So it's like, I don't know. It was like, it took a long time, but it was like once I felt like enough was enough, like, yeah, I was done.
And what happened when you ran away?
Well, I didn't have many places to go, so she found me. I only ran to like one spot like all the time. But like that was my comfort zone. So I would always go to my other grandmother's house.
Okay. And then was there a punishment after that for having ran away?
Yeah.
It's like no matter what you tried to do, it's just constantly met with punishment and just
Right.
negativity.
Right.
So, when you felt angry, was there anyone that you could talk to about that?
Um, my like of course my father's side, but from that side, from my mother's side, it would be some of my cousins that I'm really close in age with. We're probably like a year or two apart. There's two of them specifically that I will always speak to. Um, and that's probably about it. Like I have like an older cousin that I would speak to about it too, and that's probably like the only person who has ever confronted my mother about anything regarding me, and that's why they don't really get along like that.
Got you.
Anytime like she's around, she will always like defend anything. So my mother didn't like that.
Of course.
Right.
So, was there anything anything specific that, like your grandparents or your older cousins would say that actually, felt comforting for you?
um, Not well from my dad's side. They would just like try to step in more, like getting me like on the weekends, or say like we had somewhere to be or something to do, just so they can get me out the house. Um, I spent most of my weekends there. Any school breaks, um, summers, anytime, like even if I felt like sick, because my grandmother would stay home all the time. So anytime I felt sick or anything, like, I would call her or we'll be talking and then she would like, oh, we'll tell my mother, like, oh, we'll just bring her to me. Like, she won't be sick no more. She come here, like I'll help and do whatever. Like all the sick kids go to my grandmother because she did not get sick at all. So that would be um comforting. But besides that, my cousins, we will always like just say, like, just continue to count down the days. That's all I was waiting for.
So just count down the days in between the next time you get to leave.
Yep.
So, is there anything you wanted to add in terms of how your mother specifically responded to your anger?
Um, she never really responded well to it, so that's why I would try like not even to show it unless I'm by myself or with somebody else.
Because I mean, for the most part, it sounds like if you showed anything except for happiness, then there would be like a punishment or something, associated with, like you better make this look good.
Basically, yeah.
So, how did your sister respond to you feeling angry?
Um, when it was like at its worst, I guess like she was still small, but because we're 8 years apart. Um, but as she started to get older, we did not get along. I think in my adult life, we probably speak the most now that we've ever in the past. Um, but she basically, I didn't like her. I tell her that all the time. I told my mother that as well because my mother treated her different than when she treated me. So it's like anytime that she would do something, like I would get in trouble for it or whatever. Like it didn't matter, but it was like she would kind of like rub it in. So it's just like, yeah, no, I don't like you.
Oh, so she just was like copycatting your mom.
Basically. And she like still to this very day she acts just like her. Like she has some of her same traits and habits.
Okay. So, how did your mom respond to your sister being angry?
Um, she she would just call her father, honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah. She would call her father or As she started getting older, like she would tell me, or like once I moved out of the house, like she would just call me all the time instead of like dealing with her directly.
Oh.
Yeah. Like she would call everybody else, like, oh, you need to talk to her, you need to do this, and blah, blah, blah. But she would never really deal with her with any type of emotion or anything.
So there is some consistency there. She didn't
Right.
want to deal with anybody's emotion.
Right. I feel like she still didn't want to deal with it. She just handled it differently.
So what was it like when your mom got angry?
Hell, that's really what it felt like.
I trust you from what I've
Yeah.
heard so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of like duck and cover.
Basically, yeah.
Was it unpredictable? Like you didn't know what to expect, or was it consistent in okay, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen?
Um, I feel like some days it would be unpredictable because she could be like, if we're in front of people or outside of anything, she could be like laughing or whatever, having a normal conversation, and then like as soon as we get in the house, it's like she immediately switched.
Mm.
Like, depending on circumstances, like she has no problem being loud and confrontational in front of everybody. Like it doesn't matter to her. But if it involved something with just like me, sometimes he would try to wait. So it's like sometimes I wouldn't even know. Like I'll be thinking that, this is a good day and then it's not. But other than that, yeah, she is definitely it was kind of consistent. It would just be like certain instances would be unpredictable.
Okay, but that unpredictability is scary.
Yeah,
Like it just completely catches you off guard because you're like, oh, she didn't say or do anything. Maybe we're okay, and
right,
then all of a sudden, boom!
right.
Oh, wow. How did other people respond to your mom being angry, or did they ever see that?
Yeah, they definitely seen it. They would just let her be angry. Like nobody really said anything to her. Um, you would get a few times where like her mother and her would get into it because she would be like super angry, but she has a thing where she like victimizes a lot of situations, so they wouldn't be angry anymore. Um, but other than that, I feel like everybody did the same thing. Like even as a like when I was a kid, you even have adults that would kind of like duck and like, oh, okay, let's just watch out, let her be mad or let her do her thing, because that's just who she is.
Okay, so it all goes along with the picture that's been painted so far that she has to kind of like be queen bee, and everybody has to, adhere to whatever her wishes and desires are. Nobody's to challenge her. And
Right,
if anybody calls her out on it, then she's suddenly the victim and guilt trips them.
right.
Okay. Okay. So we've gotten through that first part of anger. We're going to switch gears
Hmm.
into one of the other topics. So, did you want to start into the finances, Jay's friend, or the time you made him feel sad?
You want to talk about
She
her?
asking you.
I'm saying,
I
what you?
always pick. It don't matter to me.
Okay, we can get this sadness thing out the way.
Okay. So, what was
Why
the
you want?
time?
Why you want to talk? Why you want to talk about my friend?
I just asked you what you wanted
No,
to
go
talk
ahead. Go,
about.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Your friend falls into finances. That's why I figured we could do that. Like, yeah,
All
that
right.
like all ties in.
So, what happened the time that you made him feel sad?
So he says that I cheated on him. I did not. In my defense, I told him I did not want to be with him anymore.
Why?
Um, okay. Um, so he has a thing where, in my eyes, I feel like cheating is cheating. In his mind, if he doesn't physically have sex with anybody, it's not cheating. So he can go and talk to 1,000 females. They can all be texting, calling, pictures. Like it doesn't matter. And it would be like a constant thing where I'm like, okay, whoever this is that you texting, okay, let's dead that. And then it was like we will move on. This is like years and years of like, it would be different females each time, but then there will be certain ones that were like consecutive, and it's just like, well, I just told you last year about this person, so now you're back with them again. Like it's just annoying at this point. And then it would be some people from his past and everything like that. So it's just like it's only so much that I can constantly speak on it. Um, so the last problem, it was I forget which girl it was, but he has also a thing where if I confront him about something, like I know that, people lie, but like his lying, he will take it like far. I can literally see the messages. I can see that it's him talking. I can see everything. And he'll be like, no, that wasn't me. That's my cousin. So it'll be like his cousin randomly jumped into his phone and started texting this person. His cousin randomly, planned to have sex with these people. Like it's just like it would be a lot of just lies. And I'm just like at that point, I was completely fed up. I called him out on it and I told him about it. And I'm just like, like I'm done kind of thing or whatever. Um, but we were still living together and it's like, I don't know if he know, but I did tell him too, like I was planning to leave. But at that time I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I felt kind of stuck in a way. Um, but I believe that during that time, I feel like we've grown since then, but during that time, if I was situated or like, finances or different jobs at that time, then I definitely would not still be in this relationship. Like I would have had the money and the motive to just, get up and go kind of thing. Um, but I couldn't. So I felt as though what I need to do is just break away from him. And I felt like if you hurt me and you continuously did it and I gave you passes, I gave you warnings, and you're just still dismissing what I'm saying, now I have to show you. So now, because you hurt me, now I'm going to make sure that I hurt you just as much, if not more, because I want you to feel everything that I have been feeling this entire time.
All right, now look, right, hold on, right. She was also. Don't get me wrong. Everybody, everybody got their problem, right? Right. Everybody got their little issues. Everybody doing whatever they do, right? But she'll also like at that time, she'll also be like talking to other guy, texting or on whatever the other
I
guy.
hate how much you are. I'm about to get mad all over again.
I'm lying.
Yes, you are, and you know that you are.
All right.
So wait. So
That situation had nothing to do with what you're referring to,
Hold
though.
on. It's not even that kind of situation. What I'm saying is like how you said it'd be like talking to other female and stuff. It happened before with you. You'll be talking to other guys. I don't know who y'all be talking
Other
about.
guys
No, not like see
or
look,
one
you
guy is
taking it
not.
different.
See, I'm not taking it different because you only said something about one person in the beginning of this relationship, and that one person after you felt some type of way. Okay, yes, now you're being cut off completely, and they were cut off. But you cannot sit here and tell me that did not confront you about for at least 10 different females. You cannot sit here and tell me that. You will not tell me that. I promise you, you will
You
not.
did. I'm not saying that you didn't.
Okay, so it's like, why you gotta, this is what I'm talking about right here. You got a defense for everything. Instead of taking accountability and saying, okay, damn, I fucked up. You're not gonna do that. You wanna see, like,
All right.
oh, well, you press A, let me press B. Like, why you gotta keep on doing, like, oh, well, you did that because, like, it's pointless to me. You still not taking accountability years later
I
on.
am taking.
You're not.
All right.
and then you still want to laugh. It's not
I'm
a
not.
joking
I'm not.
matter. You did
I'm
laugh.
not
You laughed your
laughing.
way into your statement.
So I'm gonna ask this one thing, Jay. What can you take responsibility for? Because if you remember at the beginning, defensiveness is one of the four horsemen that kills a relationship. So we want to be able to eliminate defensiveness as much as possible by finding something to take accountability for.
All right. I can't take. I can't take accountability for that. I would do that. Like be texting. That's my that's my fault. I could take accountability for that.
Okay. So you're taking accountability for the fact that you were texting other women at some point in time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So recap. So you're texting other women. B, you saw that it felt like a betrayal to you.
Hmm.
Okay. You expressed to him, hey, this is hurting me. I don't like it when this happens, but then it continued to happen anyway.
Right.
So after however much time it passed of this continuing to happen, you were like, I've had enough. The only way you're going to learn is if you have an experience of feeling the hurt that I feel.
Hmm.
Okay.
At this point, I want to say this was probably 3 or 4 years in.
So then what happened next?
I hit up like a old guy that we were just friends, but I hit him up. We ended up texting, and then we basically I went to go and see him, and we had sex, and I came home the next morning.
Okay. So did you tell him about that or how did that information come out?
Um, he saw it. I think it was like my phone or something, but I purposely put that in my phone. I wanted him to see it because in my mind, I'm not thinking logically. I'm thinking about this is my revenge because you are going to feel exactly what I felt. And that was all that was on my mind at that time. Like it was just like hurt him, and that's what I wanted. Um, and then I think once I got up or he woke me up, however it happened, of course, like we argued about it. Initially, I lied. Um, again because I'm feeding off of what he does. I know that it's the truth and I know exactly what happened, but I'm gonna lie to you because that's exactly what you do to me when I confront you about something.
So this is still a part of feeling the need to hurt him.
Yep.
So what happened after the arguing and the lying?
Um, I'm trying to think. I don't know. That was probably the same day. Like we had a fight and everything. He ended up packing his clothes and he said he was leaving. Um, and I think this probably went on for probably like that whole day or maybe 2 days straight. I'm not really sure. But yeah, he said he was gonna leave, but that was like early in the morning. I don't know what happened like in between, but I know towards the end of the night he like had got dressed and everything. He said he was going outside, and I'm like, okay, you're not going outside because I already knew what he was about to go and do. And then he confirmed exactly what I knew. Um, probably like months later, he told me like, well, that's what he's gonna do. He's about to go and have sex with somebody, and the somebody was one of his ex girlfriends, the ex girlfriend who just would not go away that he kept talking to. And now at this point, you're making me look like a dumbass. Like you're still continuing to do exactly what you shouldn't be doing. And it's like, in my mind, I would personally much rather it be a brand new person like I've never seen before or anything like that. But for you to constantly go back to someone, and I know that this is someone that you basically we had like a similar relationship kind of thing, because he don't want to claim that as his girlfriend, but that was his girlfriend. Anybody will tell you that that was his girlfriend. He doesn't want to say that it was for whatever reason. I don't know. So it's like, for you to still come and slap me in the face again with this same girl, and it's like, even after that, she's still constantly coming around. This man changed his number about 4 or 5 times now. How does she keep getting the same number over and over again? You're giving it to her, and it's always an excuse as to why she's texting him, or why. But it's like, he would constantly say like, oh, like, I don't want her, and she's a stalker, and she's this and she's that. But then the first issue that we run into, that's the first person that you're going to. That's the first girl that's on your mind. So you're already showing me exactly what you want.
So you felt like he still wanted her.
Hmm.
So how was all of this resolved?
Um, I think we probably had like a conversation about it. And then probably within, I want to say like the next month, once we had made up or whatever, then I found out that I was pregnant. So it was kind of like, I asked him like at that point, like what he wanted to do, and he wanted to keep the baby. So I'm like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. And then I thought everything was fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's just let it be water under the bridge. Um, and then I want to say it was after I was probably what, 12 or 13 weeks, because I know like that's the appointment, like the Down syndrome screening and all of that. That's around like 12 or so weeks, something like that. After we left that doctor's office, it's like he wasn't really as thrilled anymore. It's like I seen something come over his face, and I'm just like, okay, like what happened? He's like, no, I'm fine. I think he said that he was tired or something like that. We got back home, and then I ended up going to the grocery store, and I'm on the phone with him, and I said it to him like, you still sound like mad or whatever, like you're not excited about it, and this is something that we decided on together. And then he proceeded to ask me. He said something to the effect of, "Oh, I don't want to be happy, or I can't be happy because I don't know if that's my no, is that my baby?" That's what he said, something like that. So I'm like, okay, now I feel completely disrespected because I asked you more than once what was the problem. I asked you what was wrong with you. I asked you, did you even want to go through with this? And still to this day, if that is still a concern, I'm perfectly fine with you want to do DNA. It doesn't matter to me.
No, that's not a concern.
And yet, I wish you could see, like right
No,
now,
I'm
like
saying
how
that's
hard
just
you're
me. That's just
smiling.
me. It's not a concern now, right? So now, right. Everything, everything you said was right. Um, yeah. So basically, that happened. It was just I felt like she was being too sneaky. It's like it's like all right, but you said we done or whatever, right? But it was like she was like like being sneaky. Like it was on more so. I want to say trying to hide something from me. Like she kept trying to hide. I'm like if me and you not on together, you don't gotta move how you moving. Like I felt it though. Like it was too sneaky for me. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So
So
it was more so it was
back up,
like,
back up for a minute.
yeah.
What was sneaky? I'm lost. What part was sneaky?
Um
Texting and not telling you.
I think it was more so how she went about the thing. 'Cause like the same night that she went to go see the guy, whatever, she told me that she was going to her friend. I'm like, all right, whatever. But then it was like the friend would jump on Instagram like she got too drunk, now she in my bed sleep, like trying to make it seem like trying to get me to believe that she got too drunk and couldn't sleep there. She not where she at. I'm like, yo, that's like the oldest trick in the book. You feel me? Like it was no picture, nothing on her sleep. It was just like words. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So then she came home, whatever. It was I want to say she came home probably like four or five or whatever. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right. I feel like now, like now I'm getting played with. So so I tried to get her phone. The phone was locked with her. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So the second thing was the iPad right here. I know Instagram on there. So I saw little bits and pieces on there. She got a male friend, right? Yeah, all right, but I don't. That's not my friend. So I get if she talking to him, telling him things that he not telling me because that's not my friend. So I read it. I'm like, all right. So basically, basically the message was she told him what she doing this weekend. That she going to see her on side nigga or whatever the case was. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like at this point, it's beyond to me. It's beyond the whole fact that all right, we're not together right now. I just felt like I just felt like she being sneaky. So now so now time going. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up now. So I'm like, yo, get up and share phone. So I'm saying when I lock her phone up. So I'm like, all right, bet. So now I got dressed to leave because I'm not about to argue none of that. So now I got dressed to leave. So so I'm saying we're gonna leave. So now we arguing together. We're going back and forth about the whole thing. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I want to say later on that day, we started actually talking. I'm like, all right, whatever. So now, so now we had a conversation throughout the week. Or whatever. We had a conversation like, all right, bet. So we gonna throw that. We gonna sweep that under the bridge and start over. Whatever. So it was. So now we back cool talking whatever now. But it's like she's still keeping contact with this person. So if she's still talking to the person, you know what he wants and all that. So like it's not a friendship no more with y'all. It's past that now. So so I felt it though. It shouldn't be no more conversation with it. But it's like that she was trying to hide the fact that them two were still speaking. So that's why I said it felt sneaky. So then the time going on. She never came out to me and said she had sex with the person. She never said that to me. So now the time go on. So we went somewhere like group of us went somewhere. She gave me her phone unlocked. That's how I found out. That was like a month later. That's how I found out. And then she had tried to lie and say that that she had sex with him a long time ago. She never say that it was that day that she went to her friend house.
Okay.
So then as time went on, whatever. So now so now we had another talk, so down in the road, whatever. So now it was so now to the point where though now she found out she's pregnant. So I'm like, all right, but it was like a constant thing now. So like now I have one. I'm like that's my kid. How many times did they actually have sex? Because it's like she never told me the truth at that point. Yeah, and it was just too much going on around that time. Because it was like another guy that was he was a cool guy, whatever. He was a cool guy. So it's like him and her did the whatever they did before me, like before me. So like I felt as though that I should have got that. You should have told me before you allowed this guy to be around me. You should have told me like, oh yeah, me and him just such and such before, but But once I think we cool now, I would have everybody got their past. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, whatever. But it's like she didn't give me the choice to either to be like, oh, all right, cool. I had him around me. He just was around me. He didn't tell me. She didn't tell me. Nobody else told me. I had to find out for myself.
Okay.
So that's why I said that whole time frame she was being too sneaky for me. But like she said that was none of my business. What she did with her. Granted, that's not my business until he come around me. So now I feel like that's my business.
Okay. So I understand. Um, we're gonna definitely have to explore this more. The unfortunate part is we're out of time.
So,
But I have my notes and I see pieces where you guys can relate to each other. And if you could take a breath and step back for a minute, you can see the other person's side, like almost if it's a third party type of thing. Like if it was somebody else that this was happening to and they were telling you this story, being able to get in that position of, oh, okay, I can see how it makes sense from this perspective and that perspective. And
Mhm.
it's never about excusing bad behavior. I'm always about holding people accountable for their choices. But our goal, because you guys are in a relationship together and you're looking to build a future together, the goal is to understand and to empathize with the feelings, not the situation, with
Yeah.
the feelings.
yeah.
And that's our goal here. So I'm sorry, we have to wrap it up for today, but we'll start with this next time and then we'll, kind of flip flop it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You guys take care.
You
All
too.
right, you too.
Bye bye. Hello, I'm Helen B. Hicks, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of What Would Helen Say? Please come back next week as we continue to explore this dynamic of what happens in a relationship when one person who feels hurt by the other then hurts that person. How do you stop this dynamic and how do you heal from it? Once again, if you enjoy the work that I'm doing and you would like to support me, or if you're interested in accessing premium content with detailed notes of how you can apply these skills to your own life, please click on the link below for more information. Thank you very much.